Hey guys, so I just decided to do another movie review on a film that I had seen not too long ago. And, I haven't done movie reviews for a few weeks. I am still going to be doing my review for Apocalypse Now, and I will be back to the Halloween franchise. But this is going to be like my personal take on a movie that I had watched. That's going to be on the new Terminator film, Terminator Dark Fate. And I know that I'm using my webcam for this video. Sorry for the bright lighting of my face, because I have some of the info in front of me on Wikipedia. Terminator Dark Fate. It is the newest installment in the Terminator franchise. It was directed by Tim Miller, who also directed the Deadpool franchise, and it was produced by James Cameron and David Ellison. So, I'm not going to say anything that is on spoilers, because if you have seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. I'm not going to say anything that's going to spoil it. But hear me out on this. I had not seen Terminator Genesis. I would like to see it with an open mind, but I doubt that it was going to be very good. The last Terminator film that I had seen was on Terminator Salvation back in 2010. Yes, I know the movie came out in 2009, but I had seen it in 2010, and I hated that movie. So I haven't gone back ever since. Terminator has been one of the franchises that started out really, really strong. The first two Terminator films, the first one now being 35 years old recently. Good God. That is a classic movie, one of my all-time favourites. Same with Terminator 2, which is personally my fourth favourite movie of all time. Terminator 3, yes, some people hated that movie, but I think that it was a really enjoyable movie. There were some dumb points in that film, some negativity, but I did like that movie. It was a bit of a guilty pleasure, actually. I decided to watch this movie with an open mind, and I still have the ticket. Here it is. I've seen it at the Empire, the IMAX, Terminator Dark Fate. So, what do I think of this movie? This movie is such a disappointment. Now, the reason why I say it is because that I wanted to give this movie a chance. And I had seen people talking shit about it because they have seen the trailers, and I had seen some of the comments because, people are dumb and idiotic to trash this movie without seeing it. And it's not as bad. It's not very, very bad. It's not total garbage, as some people turn their reactions to be that way. But the main plot for this movie, it takes place 27 years after Terminator 2 Judgment Day. So this movie stars Mackenzie Davis, Natalia Reyes, Gabriel Luna, and Diego Boneta as new characters, alright? And it's cool to have Linda Hamilton back in the film, and of course Arnold Schwarzenegger. I mean, he's the Terminator, for God's sake. Gabriel's character, he comes out from the future as the new villain to hunt down a character named Danny. The female Terminator of Grace is out to protect her, and with Linda Hamilton's contribution to help her out, they just want to team up, destroy this new Terminator that is after her, and with the help of the T-800 from Arnold Schwarzenegger's role as the Terminator, he just decides to team up as well, help them out basically. Personally, I'm not going to say anything else after that, because it's just a movie that is pretty much like the other Terminator films in every way, but I think after Terminator 2, since Terminator 3, we get to be introduced to different characters that were completely new, that nobody had ever heard of. Sometimes that is a bit of an issue for me, and when it comes to the backstory and the origin of these characters, I would want them to have some sense of something interesting, because Sarah Connor was interesting. Same with Kyle Reese. John Connor, being the son of Sarah Connor. I don't mind it when later Terminator films go into a modern, newer look in the franchise. Sometimes it just doesn't work to me. And if you just want to see like some other person's review, like the spoilers, just go and see the video of whoever you're watching for yourself, or just watch the movie. It's still in cinemas at the moment. The things that I liked in this film, I thought most of the cast very talented. Gabriel Luna as the new Terminator, new villain, was very, very good. I think he's the best character in this entire movie. I can see that he just does not want to, be like a totally different character, and he just reminds me of the T-1000 from Terminator 2. That's like a big reminiscence of that character. I thought some of the action scenes were good. It's not like completely over the top, like CGI explosion transformer crap. They were well shot. And speaking of scenes that were well shot, I thought Tim Miller as the director was really good. And I give him credit. I mean, Linda Hamilton's role, she's just as good since Terminator 2. I mean, you can really see that things have just moved on to the present and more into the future, and, a fighter. The things that I don't like about the movie, I thought the character of Grace that tries her best to protect her, I thought that over time she just got really annoying. Does not connect with me. Feels more agitated and frustrated, and I just thought to myself, you could have just done something better to improve yourself. I thought some of the scenes just don't make sense. The beginning of the movie was the worst part about it, and I just really cannot put into words by how really forced and terrible it was. The movie was written not only by James Cameron himself, but there were 4 more writers. Charles Egley, Josh Friedman, David Goyer, and Justin Rhodes. Way too many writers for this film, because when you have a movie from a big, highly budgeted, billion-dollar made franchise that's so popular in movie history, with a lot of writers, you just cannot really expect everything to be perfect. Because I thought some of the dialogue was a little cheesy, and the pacing on some of the film was so boring and slow. T2 did have slow scenes, but they worked. They worked right on time, and it was more in place. Same with the original Terminator. But I thought the slow scenes just went on for like more than 5 minutes. I really wanted some more action or something intriguing, but it just doesn't. Terminator Dark Fate, to me, it's not terrible of a movie. It's not great, but it's one of the weakest installments in this franchise, in my honest opinion. And I know some people would defend this movie for the better. I was just looking at the latest updates on the reception. It got 69% on Rotten Tomatoes. Some of the critics find it derivative and not as good as the first 2 movies, and I can understand why. With that being said, if they are going to make 2 more Terminator films in the future, to make a new trilogy, I don't know where it's going to go from here, because I think this franchise has just been very, very tiring after the first 2 or 3 Terminator films. And like I said, I've lost interest in the franchise after Terminator Salvation. And I was curious to see this movie with an open mind. After seeing some of the trailers, I was like a bit, on the fence with it. But to see the movie all the way through, it's not a movie that is just perfect. And that is a big shame. All I want to say about this new film, Terminator Dark Fate, for a rating 2.5 out of 5 stars. I almost wanted to give it a 2 because of the stupid introduction. The worst part of this film but it has its moments of saving grace. So I just give it, half of a point, 2.5 out of 5 in my opinion. Please let me know what you think of Terminator Dark Fate. It's not the lowest of the low. I have seen worse in sequels from other franchises, but this movie is a disappointment.